know what? It is a sad but inescapable fact that senseless gun violence has recently caused us to stop in our tracks for mourning and reflection. Football, however, can provide a sense of comfort through community. And Neil Patrick Harris narrates a remarkable tale of one town's efforts to rise above tragedy.
High school kids shouldn't have to do this. They shouldn't have to spend an afternoon going to the gymnasium, laying out a banner, and filling it with notes to other kids they'll probably never meet. They shouldn't have to bear the burden of trying to tell them it'll be all right. But about 6 weeks ago, these kids in this school did just that.
1, 2, 3.
Because they knew a certain kind of pain all too well.
Breaking news out of Colorado.
I was there that night.
A lot of people thought it was part of a movie stunt. We do know that
The numbers are staggering.
And I had to grab on to every last bit of hope that I had.
I got shot. The bullet came in here, exited back there, and a little piece broke off there. You know, it was really close to a lot of things. You know, I mean, if I wasn't, you know, if it would have hit me first instead of the gentleman above me, you know, it could have went, you know, through here somewhere. I don't know. It would have hit me, but you know, who knows where I would have been right now.
Zach Goldich was one of the 70 Gateway High students in the theater that horrible night last summer in Aurora, Colorado. When the Division I football prospect was released from the hospital, he could think of only one place he wanted to be: back on the field.
The group of guys that we have here are pretty special. You know, I'd do anything for those guys, and I'm pretty sure they'd do the same for me.
Zach's got extreme strength. He said, "Mom, we can't do anything about it. We can't change it, so we have to move forward."
Zach barely missed a beat at practice, while his parents struggled to match his resilience.
I was just grateful that he was alive.
Gateway High is just a quarter-mile from the theater where the shooting took place. That night, the police used the school as a waiting area for families of the missing to gather and wait for news about their loved ones.
The crowd started to get smaller and smaller and smaller. And then eventually there was just 12 families.
AJ Boik had gone with his girlfriend Lassamo across to the movie. Just before the lights went down, she took out her cell phone and snapped a picture of them.
AJ was in ceramics. It was his outlet out of this crazy hectic world. So when I'm here and then I throw on his wheel, it helps just get through this very trying time.
I love you so much.
I love you so much too.
I love you so much.
AJ, man, where do I begin?
I think that his mission every day was to make somebody laugh, honestly.
His girlfriend and his mom may have been the two most important people in his life, but AJ was the kind of guy who made everyone at Gateway High feel that way. Fervently supporting school teams, forever finding ways to bring the student body closer together.
AJ wasn't a sporty person, but he was just like an overall student body person. That dude would dress up, wear his cape, paint his face. He was super fan.
He'd proposed to Lasamoa in the spring, and they were already planning their life together when they graduated. A month later came the shooting.
The second everything happened, it was like taking sand and watching it fall through your fingers. And there's nothing I could do about it. I planned my life with him, and, you know, we were gonna have 3 boys and a vineyard, and because of the act of one man, I'll never know what he looked like standing at the altar. The biggest thing is to realize that it happened, to realize that you are 19 years old. There's tomorrow.
No matter how familiar the sounds were, how much the hallways may have looked the same, tomorrow felt strange at Gateway High when school resumed.
All right, boys, come on in, touch your teammate.
But somehow, it was football that felt and sounded just right.
In the battles we go through in life. In the battles we go through in life. We ask
ask for a chance to be poised and strive. A chance to be poised and strive. A chance to do it again. A chance to do it again.
Team gets me every time. It was like this power to go out there and win this game, and even if you lose, it's totally fine.
What we've seen as a community is the best humans have to offer. We saw the worst that day, but we have since seen pretty much the best.
The Olies won their emotional home opener. And soon after, the NBA's Denver Nuggets showed their solidarity by holding an open scrimmage in the Gateway Gym. Nights like that one made a difference in the days and weeks ahead. A testament to the collective spirit that had survived the shooting. A few weeks later, back in the gym, came a tribute to someone who'd embodied that spirit so memorably.
Every once in a while, something stands out that makes a difference. A.J. Boik was that kind of person. Today, we want to honor A.J. by presenting the first annual A.J. Boik School Spirit Award.
You go through adversity, through life, and nothing's given to you easy. There's always going to be struggles in your life, and you got to be able to get back up and move on.
A.J. Boik would have been happy to know his school's football team went 7-3. But that was never the point of this season. Never the reason the team was going to mean so much to the school.
What we did as a football group over the last 4 years, I don't want to say prepared them for this, but I hope it did.
Homecoming was another occasion to savor for its normalcy. A night to recognize Zach Goldich, not just as a symbol of all the healing that had taken place, but as a senior with a full scholarship to Colorado State. And now, a crown on his head.
You know, I think of a student body of 1,700 students that are good and that are here to support each other. That definitely gets me by every day.
I miss him to pieces. But he changed the outlook of a lot of people in this school. I think he showed them how to live.
Kids shouldn't be a part of a story like this. There shouldn't be victims like A.J. Boik. There shouldn't be a school forced to learn how the world just doesn't make any sense sometimes. But this fall, these kids, in this school, decided to respond the only way they could. Together.
And later today, survivors